I'm Beverly Bellary.
And I'm John Hersey from John Hersey International, and we're co-founders of the Contagious Leaders Coaching Club. And for years, we've been asked to talk about the top 10 leadership tasks. So here we go.
Okay.
We're going to do it now.
Number one, get your attitude right. Yes, the last couple of years have been rugged. They've been rugged for everybody. So just get over it and start thinking like a leader. Concentrate on what's possible rather than why you can't accomplish your goals. And number two, get your team's attitude right. Identify everyone on your team with who have an attitude challenge and give them 30 days to get it right. Sure, there are challenges, but they're either on the team or they're not. They're either thinking about solutions or challenges.
And the third one is to hire and promote the best people. And when we talk about this, we mean for every single job, you really want to be focused on the best people. You want to be matching behaviors, competencies, and talents to what is required for every job to be performed at a high level. So you want to benchmark every single job, and you want to then assess candidates against that benchmark so that you can hire and promote the very best people and stop relying on resumes and interviews, which are frankly all made up anyways. 4, you want to hire slow and fire fast. Now, we're certainly not encouraging you to be firing people, but you know what? When you hire people, particularly if you benchmark the job and then match those benchmarks, assess the candidates and match them against the benchmark, if it's not working in 90 days, you know it. And you probably, if it's not working in 90 days, it's probably not going to work at all. So you've got to think like a leader. Be a leader. Step up. Acknowledge that it's not working and move on. Either put people into a development program or simply move on.
Now, John, number 5 is, I love this one, get rid of all the micromanagers. Not only are they annoying, and they sure are, but they stifle creativity, motivation, morale, innovation, and the development of future leaders. They may produce short-term results, but they will be at the expense of the future of your organization.
Absolutely. And the 6th task for leaders of the top 10 is to apply what we call the rule of 3. And this is really focused on having every single employee identify 3 strategies, 3 tactics, 3 things they can do in the next 30, 60, or 90 days that will contribute and have the highest impact to achieving goals. Identify those tactics that they can accomplish in 30 or 60, 90 days that have really high impact, and then your job is to focus relentlessly on the achievement of those tactics and don't let anything interfere with the application of the rule of 3. Okay, then what you have to do is stop doing those performance reviews. You know, the reviews that you typically do twice a year, and nobody pays attention to them anyways, at least in our experience. Rather than doing that, now that you've applied the rule of 3, the first thing you ought to do is every 30 days have a 15-minute conversation with every employee and really focus that conversation. Focus it like a laser on, first of all, what is working? What is working relative to the rule of 3 and to those 3 things? What's working? Secondly, why is it working? Thirdly, what's the ideal? What would be perfect if everything were really clicking on all cylinders? Fourth, what's not working? It's inevitable we're going to get to that. What's not working and what's needed to make that whatever it is work? And then finally, what is the plan? If you just focus on those 6 little questions, you'll have a really powerful conversation. It'll be done in 15 minutes.
Now, John, 8 and 9 are very similar in a way. Number 8 is apply generous recognition. And I mean really an authentic and heartfelt thank you will go so much further than we realize, and we just don't see it in corporate America. If you give a really generous, heartfelt thank you to your employees and your customers, they'll be far more engaged, and I think you'll find that it will go a very, very long way.
Absolutely true.
Now, number 9 is love your customers and your employees, the ones that you have. just for the next 30 days, really focus on this and spend more time loving your customers and loving your employees rather than trying to find new employees and new customers. You'll find that this will make a world of difference in your culture.
And number 10, speaking of culture, is to consider your culture. Give yourself some time. Take a step back and consider your culture. Is it positive or is it negative? Is it, are people leading or are they waiting to be led? Are they focusing on solutions or challenges? Are you developing future leaders or mindless followers? And is there excitement in your organization, excitement about the challenges, excitements about the opportunities, or do people dread going to work? No matter how you answer these questions, it really doesn't matter. What you really want to do is go back and focus again on those same 6 questions that we talked about in step number 7 or task number 7. What's working? Why is it working? What's the ideal? What is not working? What's needed? And what is the plan? You know, leadership really has to be an ongoing thing. It can't be sporadic. You can't leave the leadership conversation to a once-a-quarter all-employee meeting where you bring in some outside speaker, and we're speakers. We know about that. But you can't leave it to that. It has to be an ongoing conversation. It has to be consistent, and every employee has to have an opportunity to participate in that conversation. If you do this ongoing conversation, we promise you will build a highly productive and high-energy culture that not only produces great results, but that positions your organization for great things in the future. That's the top 10 leadership tasks from the Contagious Leaders Coaching Club.
We hope this has been helpful.
Be well.
And be contagious.